start number 40, they'll stop.
We have to do. Any other thing, Lawrence County Industrial Development Agency Local Development Corporation. For September 23rd, 2022. Do I call to order? Yes. Roll call.
Hey, Mr. Staples,
Here.
Mr. LaBath, Mr. Blevins,
Here.
Mr. McMahon,
Here.
Mr. Morrill, Mr. Reagan, Mr. Hall.
Here.
Forum president. Public notice issued September 19th, 2022. Is there any public comment? Andy? Andrew? You have any public comment?
No, I'm all set, thanks.
We're hoping for some. There being
No, 11 years on the job, I've never had a public comment beyond the one I'm making right now.
Get them on our board.
There being no public comment. No public comment, approval of minutes. Do I hear approval? Walk through the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes on August 11th, 2022? So, start a second.
Yeah.
Seconded.
Yep.
Discussion. There being no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Motion to accept the financial report for June and July of 2022. Do I hear a motion? So moved. I'll second. Moved and seconded. Presentation.
Quick summary for June, normal revenues, your expenditures. The River Valley did reimburse the IDA portion of, no, that's wrong. Cost to date, marketing costs, payroll costs. There was some CDEIP expenditures through the River Valley for July. Your typical revenues, there was the transfer from the River Valley to the IDALDC for the second installment of the admin monies. So you see it as an expense and a revenue because it is a River Valley cost.
Any other discussion regarding? All in favor?
Aye.
And as the board is accepted unanimously. Report of committees, non-staff report, Patrick. Mr. Kelly.
As has been covered in the press, I'll remind you that on August 23rd, we received notification of an award of $494,000 from the Northern Border Regional Commission for the rail upgrade, the town of Gouverneur site over to the Dunn paper facility. So we've been working with the NPRC on moving forward with that project and the town and the paper mill.
Question, that's the one that we've been looking for years,
Yeah,
correct?
this was
Something like
final-
8 years?
This is I think rail activity stopped in 2009 or 10, 2009.
More than 8.
And this is, yes,
Wow.
and this is
That's good.
the final piece of the financing puzzle. We have had very good success, and we're very appreciative of our relationship with the Northern Border Regional Commission. They mentioned in the IDA meeting, they were a funding source for that project and have been very active around the county.
Who's the primary beneficiary of the railroad extension?
There's really the Dunn paper facility, and then the town owns a 100-acre site that spur goes right along. So potential future development activity on that site is encouraged by having rail access.
Do we know how many employees there are done approximately?
About 100, 90 to 100.
Good.
That is it for your LDC staff report.
Old business?
None.
New business? We have a number of resolutions. Resolution accepting the fiscal year 2023 tentative budget. Motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Andy, seconded by
Second.
discussion.
The process of the budget, we look at last year's numbers, we look at the year-to-date numbers, and look at any, what we think of as extraordinary potential revenue sources or costs. We build in any project approvals that we know are going to require funding next year. You have the draft for your review. If there's no questions today, we just recommend you look at it. And
This
then
is just the first step of preparing the budget.
correct. Yep, the final budget will be brought forward at the next meeting. This gives you a sense of the numbers that we are projecting.
We got all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Second resolution, authorizing a loan of up to $20,000 for M&M Heating and Air Conditioning of Gouverneur LLC. Do I hear a motion? So moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
This is our micro program designed for businesses of 5 employees or less. The company has 5 employees. This is an employee seeking to acquire the business from the current ownership. There's bank financing in the project already. The town of Gouverneur, the town of Gouverneur Loan Fund is going to be a equal position with us at 20,000, 4%, 5-year term. We recommend the loan for approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes unanimously. It's Gouverneur because it's the first name of a gentleman named Gouverneur Morris, who wrote essentially the Constitution of the United States. And he's most famous for the phrase, "We the people." Thank you.
And who lived was in St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence County, right? Owns a lot of St. Lawrence. Yeah, that's correct. Resolution authorizing a loan of about $260,000 to Nexus Networks, Inc. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Do I hear a second? Oh,
So the IDA had approved a project in our previous meeting with Connexus moving into the 100 Patterson Street facility. We have been working on a financing package with the company and with some of our partners. The North Country Economic Development Fund, which is administered by the Development Authority of the North Country, has already approved $385,000 for the project. The Ogdensburg Growth Fund has approved $125,000 for the project. The River Valley Redevelopment Agency approved $130,000. That you are at this resolution providing the LDC's approval for that loan, as well as $130,000 from the LDC loan fund. So there's we're using the River Valley Fund and the IDA LDC fund for the combined $260,000. The company currently has 14 jobs. They project creating 12. We've had a loan relationship with them since 2017. When they first moved into the county, that relationship has been stellar. They've been an outstanding borrower and done a commendable job of paying the loan, always on time. Like I said in the IDA meeting, this is an exciting project. We're fortunate to have the participation from our local and regional lending partners. I wholeheartedly recommend you guys approve this one. You've been provided the application. You have the underwriter materials. I think this is ready to go.
any further questions? All in favor of the resolution?
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes unanimously. Next resolution, authorizing a loan of up to $450,000 for 941 Ackle Web acquisition. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second. Yeah. Discussion.
As you'll see in the resolution, there are 3 business partners who are forming an entity to acquire the ACO warehousing and distribution facility on the eastern part of the city of Ogdensburg. We have been working with them on a financing package to assist with that acquisition. We would be partnering again with the North Country Economic Development Fund, which is administered by the DANK, which has approved $350,000. The Ogdensburg Growth Fund, which has approved $150,000. Our portion is $450,000, which is made up of $225,000 that has already been approved by the River Valley Redevelopment Agency and $225,000 from the IDA LDC loan fund. That combined $450,000 will be one loan that is provided through the LDC. They contemplate creating 14 jobs. The project, as I said, the acquisition of that warehouse, I think everybody knows of as the ACO warehouse. They will acquire it, lease back a portion of the facility to ACO. One of the partners is the head of a company in Canada that will be leasing a portion of the facility. About half of it will be leased those 2 arrangements with the goal for the company of using it as a cross-border business development, distribution, and warehousing facility. For us, this project preserves the ACO presence. It brings in a new company. It brings in an operating entity that is seeking to generate cross-border activity, which I think will raise our profile. It's an opportunity for us to partner with a new ownership group. And I think it benefits, as they have success, setting themselves up as a destination cross-border warehousing and distribution facility. It's gonna generate more traffic for the Bridgeport Authority, create more activity here. This again is when the ACO warehouse went up for sale, to have a cross-border group of individuals form an entity to acquire it, to lease back space to ACO, to put a Canadian operation in it, and then to seek out new business for the facility. I don't know what more we could ask for, or what better outcome we could have.
Also of prime importance would be, does this remain on the tax rolls for Augsburg?
Yes,
So there's no reduction, substitution.
correct.
Patrick, I'm not gonna die on my sword on this one, but with the Connexus and then with this ACO project, Ogdensburg is happily benefiting quite a bit. Is the local economic development fund, is our history to ask more for the local development fund, or is this a typical amount?
This is a-
Recognizing that you're from Ogdensburg and, you're probably taking care of it.
This is, they have up to a job number. The max their fund does is 150,000. So we have a history of partnering with them, like with Connexus, and other similar projects where they have a fairly active growth fund where it tends to do more, a broader set of projects maybe than we do with some smaller Main Street type stuff. But when we have these bigger projects, we have a history of working with them typically in the 100 to 150,000 a month.
That's all we ask of them.
That's all the fund can do.
Yeah, their resource level is less than ours in a proportionate participation that's pretty good.
Sure. I think one of the great things about this is a lot of people have been concerned that ACO had closed and gone away and lost all the jobs. They've now realized that ACO, the company, is still operating in that building. This package will help ensure that they continue their operation in that building and bring additional jobs. We're bringing another Canadian company in there that wants to operate there as well, and the opportunity for additional companies to come. So, preserving those jobs at ACO, I think is a huge win on behalf of the community and the IDA and the county to and helping ACO to reduce their operating costs. They can't use the entire building. They move manufacturing jobs there as opposed to the distribution center jobs. And, this will allow us to turn that into an asset for the region by making use of it as continuing to use it as a distribution center, but for other companies. So
It's also a huge win for ACO because they're selling it.
they're selling the building, which they didn't need, but we're keeping the jobs in Ogdensburg, and we're gonna bring more, and more jobs are gonna come in with the music company, and and there's the opportunity for additional jobs with the rest of the space. So, it's a multiple win.
All in favor of the resolution? All opposed? Passes unanimously. We need an executive session.
We do not.
Do I hear the motion to adjourn?
Second.
Agree with your prior statements. A lot of, might listen out of it.